What do you do if a client cannot provide ID? This is one of the ways to navigate some of those notary challenges. This is something that I get asked on TikTok, and hopefully this can provide some clear advice or just give you some more ideas on how to avoid situations like that. First things first, I want to say check with your state website for everything. Every state is differently. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a disclaimer, and this is for educational purposes only, like I said. But anyways, getting into it, what to do when your client can't provide ID? How do you navigate this, right? So first thing I want to say is when I'm teaching, I always tell you guys you need to be proactive and not reactive, right? So you have proactive, that's everything you do ahead of time, and then you have reactive. These are things you have to do after a situation has occurred. To avoid all of this, you can just be proactive by asking ahead of time the client, do they have a valid ID? What's a valid ID? And then you let them know. Driver's license, passport, so on and so forth. You need to know what your valid forms of ID are in your state. Not going to tell you it because then you'll be like, oh, knowledge told me. No, I'm not going to do that. But driver's license, passport, so on and so forth. Ask them that ahead of time before you go to the location, before you even charge them, so you know that they have it, and you need to make sure that it's not expired. All right, so let's say you are reactive and you're at the client's accommodations and you don't know what to do. First thing you need to do is stay calm. Don't freak out. Don't be mad. You need to stay calm and professional. Handle the situation like an adult and like the business pro that you are. Don't be there like, oh, I thought you had the document. You told me on the phone that you. Nah, don't do all that. Don't do all that. Just stay cool. Right after that, you need to see if there's any alternatives. The first thing that's going through my mind is like, didn't these people tell me that they had the ID on the phone? I know these people told me they had the ID on the phone, and now all of a sudden I get here and they don't. Or you go there and it's expired. Like, I asked you if it was expired. You didn't know what your ID was expired. But in the instance that they didn't, you need to know, okay, what's going to be the alternatives? So off rip, you already need to know what the alternative. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. That was horrible writing. Oh my gosh, my iPad froze on me, guys. Anyways, you need to know what that alternative is going to be, right? You need to know all the alternative documents. What is your backup? What is the backup that you can do that's going to save you? So ask them, hey, do you have anything else? Anything else that you can, is there any other forms of ID that you have in your house? And then they're going to read off the things that they have. So if they can't provide a government issued ID, sometimes you need to have the photo, see if they have a passport. If they don't have a passport, see if they have a military ID. And then you should look at you can go to the NSA, and look at all your state specific rules and IDs and see what is acceptable based on your jurisdiction. That is what you need to do. So find the alternatives, see if they have it, and if they don't, that's when you move on to the next step. So your first thing to do is see if they have it. If not, then it's like, okay, cool. Now I guess we have to use the credible witness method. So you need to see if there's going to be any credible witness around. So some states will allow you to create a jurat. And so, for example, if your client doesn't have an ID, you can use a credible witness who personally knows the client and can verify their identity. The witness has to have a valid ID and be willing to take an oath to affirm the client's identity. So hopefully you'll have somebody around. If they tell you ahead of time that they don't have a witness, you can help them out by bringing a witness, and then that can result in an extra $50 for you. You could charge $50, you could charge $60, whatever you want to charge for your witness. Oh, honestly, I don't even think you can do that. You have to have a witness that knows them and can testify. So actually, take that away. But you need to have a witness that can say that they personally know the client and they can verify their identity for you. Right? And then after that point, let's say there is no witness, you got to move on to your next thing. So there are options that you can do, but this is really not a situation you want to be in. You really want to check things ahead of time. But what you can also do is you can double check the document and confirm that document type and make sure that that document doesn't require an ID. Some documents don't have an ID requirement. Some legal documents may require a specific form of ID, but it depends on the document. And that's why when you're on the phone with these clients, you have to ask them, what type of document do you have? Do you have a power of attorney? And then you need to check or know this information before you get to the location. Hey, can I do it just based off of this? Can I do it just having this form of ID? So you have to confirm that document type. I'll go ahead and put that down for you guys so you can see it. You have to confirm that document type so you even know like if it's an issue, because sometimes you might be good. You might be able to avoid the situation, not have to go anything, not have to do. Sorry. You know, I can't multitask. I do one. Can't write and talk. I got to write and then I got to talk. But yeah, you knowing what type of document you have, knowing what is needed for that document could avoid you having to get extra stuff. Because sometimes you might be doing all this extra work and you don't even need that type of document. But you need to find out. You need to know what the NSA says. You need to see all the documents that they have and require you to need ID for. Next, you need to document the situation. This is why you have your notary journal. This is why you have your CRM, because when things like this happen and you're unable to verify the client's identity, you need to note in your journal that you have to use like identify alternative verification, and you have to use a different method. Do you want to write this down just in case things come up? You're able to be like, hey, they didn't have the driver's license, but they had their military ID and things of that sort. But if you do all of this stuff and you're still not able to do it because they don't have any proof of ID and they don't have a credible witness and the document needs to have that stuff, don't lie for them. Don't lie for the client, because that's how you get a fine. You could possibly be put in jail. Just no reason to lie. To get what? A couple $100? No. Don't lie. Refuse it. It's your legal job as a notary to refuse the notarization. Just explain to them that they need proper ID, needs to not be expired, and there's legal limitations allowing you to not be able to notarize it. That's literally your job as a notary. But so you can try identifying their things through other means, but it just depends on your state, because sometimes they might allow you to do bills. They might allow you to use bills to confirm the identity, but there's a lot of legal risks when it comes to things like those, and I would really just stay away from doing that. When you can do favors for people and you can try to help them out, but that can just come back to, bite you. And it's not worth the money, y'all. It's not worth the money at all. So just stay up to date, especially if you're just working out the same state. You need to be up to date on your state laws. Be up to date on your state laws, because things may change. Usually things stay the same, but you need to make sure that you at least know for a fact, like, okay, I can't use this, and I actually can't help this notary right now. I actually can't help this client right now. But these are all the things that you do after you went to the location and you have the results to being reactive. If you stay proactive and ask all this stuff up ahead of time, do you have an ID? No, I don't. And you find out all that information on the phone and you're being proactive, you'll save your time and your money. But if you don't ask that stuff and you end up showing up to the location and you can't help them out, you wasted money. You wasted money and you wasted your time and you can't complete the job for them. So everybody's just mad because you were incompetent and weren't being proactive and being ahead of the situation. But like I said, each state is going to be different. I didn't want to give any specific documents just because I'm like, I don't want to lead you guys down the wrong path. It's best to just go to, honestly, you could probably even find this on Google. Just go to Google, ask them, go to NSA, find out what they have, find out the documents you need, print that out, keep it in your house somewhere. Or what you could do is you could print it off, laminate it, keep it in your notary journal or your notary emergency bag. I taught you guys that in other videos. So that way, if you're ever in a situation where you need to notarize something and they don't have the documentation that's needed, you have a list of things. Remember, I taught you guys about SOPs and having a workflow. But if you run into that situation, all you have to do is just open up your notary bag, look at your laminated card and say, okay, I can use this document, this document, this document. Okay, if I don't have this, I can do this. Okay, if I can't do this, then I can do this. And if I can't do this, then I have to do this. If you have those situations, those standard operating procedures and your workflows together, then you won't freak out during these situations. You'll know exactly what to do when the client can't provide ID. That's how you navigate those notary challenges. See how I use the title of the video in this? But that's how you do that. That's how you avoid all those problems, and that's how you make sure that the process is smooth and you're staying compliant and you're not putting yourself at any type of risk. That's the best way to do it. But anyways, if you need help or if you want more tips on how to navigate notary challenges like this or others, go ahead and book a call down below. I'll help you get to your first 2 to 5K plus in the notary business. If you just want to top it up, go ahead, click on that. No pressure. Let's do what we need to do. There's also a free notary kit. You can get that starter kit. Whether you're a beginner notary or you're experienced, if you want some more tools, they're free right there. And there's also a mobile notary mastery bundle that you can get for very inexpensive, and it has all the practical tools that you can use right now in your business, such as answering the phone. You have those phone call scripts in there. You have the email scripts in there that you can copy and paste and send it to different companies or title companies or law offices, so on and so forth. And then last but not least, there's a list of 300 plus signing services in there that you can sign up with so you can get business consistently in the back end. And there's also a lot of other tools in there. Those are just like the top 3 I usually name off the top of my head. Go ahead and get that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Hope this helps. See you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.